Welcome all. In this video, we are going to learn conditional and iterative systems or statements in Python. How Python supports conditional as well as iterative systems. So the statements is a collection of words. So how the statements can be built up for conditional structure as well as for iterative system. So let's go for the theory for conditional at first. So for conditional, the theory is saying that the statements are instructions given to computer to perform any kind of action. As I told, statements are collection of words, collection of keywords which give some action to be performed by the computer. It can be simple statement, conditional statement as well as iterative statement. Statements can be three types: simple, conditional and iterative. Simple in the sense the statements those goes from the top to down sequentially, serially. Sometimes we used to say sequential statements also. In conditional case, we can do if conditional like logic based programs. Iterative, when some statements to be executed more than one times repeatedly, so in that case we can go for iterative statements. So Python supports three types of statements: empty statements, simple statements and compound statements. So let's check for empty statements. The simplest statement in Python is empty statement, which does not which does nothing, sorry, that is pass keyword. Pass is a keyword, students. Pass is a keyword which we will learn later. So the pass keyword does nothing, but it is a statement again. Pass is a keyword but which does not perform any particular task. So that is empty statement. Now simple statement, just like input function, print function, id function, type function, there are so many functions which get evaluated in one line. That's why that is known as simple statement. As the theory is given, it is a single line statement which is executable as well as in the same line. So the simple statement get executed in a single line. Normally they are inbuilt functions like input, print, id and type. So these functions get executed when we use in a single line, and they might require some arguments also. They might require some argument within its parenthesis. Okay, let's go for compound statement. It is a group of statements, that's why it is known as compound statement. It get execute as a whole, it will get execute as a block, as a number of, fine, and produce an output. Each compound statement has header line and body group. Normally if, for, those are iterative and conditional kind of statements. They are known as compound statements because they cannot be completed within a single line. They used to have multiple lines, and multiple line of commands are, they used to get executed as a whole, as together. So that because of they are known as compound statement. So there is a header line for it which begins with the keyword and ends with a semicolon sign. Suppose if, so if will be the keyword, and the end of the if, at the end of the if we have to put a semicolon sign, which we will see today itself, means in this video itself. Next, body of the group, which consists of one or more Python statements indented from within header line. So body of the group means what the program is going to do, what the program is going to perform. That we have to write by giving a tab, that is written indent, by giving a indent, means increment indent. That is for if, for and while. If, while and for, in that case the body of the group has to be mentioned within those boundary or within those if, for or while respectively, and they used to get executed as a whole. So they are known as compound statements. Fine, let's go down. Now in the next part, we will see statements flow of control. How the statements get flow in a program. The statements can be flow in three ways, that is sequentially, selectively and iteratively. Sequentially means one after another. Selectively means it will go according to the condition. Iteratively means repeatedly it will perform the task. Fine, already I told you in previous page. So sequentially, in this kind of programming, statements are getting executed sequentially. Here each statement get executed one after another till the final or last statement get executed. Until unless it reach to the end, until unless it reach to the last statement, it will keep executing all the statements one after another. After reaching final statement, the program execution also get finished. After when it reach to the final statement, after crossing one by one each and every statement it executed, then it reached to the final statement, that is the end of the program. Next, selection, all of you please concentrate. In this selection structure of programming, the statement get executed depending upon a conditional test. If condition is evaluates to true, then block of statement written below the condition get evaluated. If there is a block of statement written after if, so that will get execute if the condition is true. Otherwise, if it is false, then it evaluate the next block of statement. Then if it evaluates false, if it become false, if the statement is not true, then in that case, then the next block of statement get executed. That is selection. Either or statement, either or group of statement will get execute in this case, which programmatically I will show you, I will explain you. Let's go for iterative. Iterative statements, also known as looping or repetition kind of statement. When there is a particular kind of job which needed to be repeated for a number of time, for a period of time, in that case we have to choose iterative statements. Here, till a condition is true, a block of statement will get executed. Till a condition is true, it will keep evaluating your statements. Where the condition becomes false, it means when the condition won't get satisfied with the given condition, then it becomes false, the repetition gets stopped. That repetition, the repetition of performing the task will get stopped. Okay, understood? Sequentially is what, selection is what, and iterative is what. Let's go down for if, that is selectional conditional structure. So if conditional structure or if statement in Python. The if statement are conditional statement in Python, and it can be used in three of the following ways. There are three ways we can perform the conditional structure, that is if. That is if statement, simple if when one condition is there. There is if else when two conditions are there, and if elif, that is if elif, something new you are going to learn here, when a condition comes after a condition. A condition comes after a condition gets satisfied. Okay, don't worry for the all those. Let's go with one by one, sequentially, serially. So let's check first if statement is what. This is the simplest form of if statement test condition, and if the condition is true, it evaluates the following statements. If the test condition is false, then it does nothing, because there is no else part, there is no otherwise part for this. So only it will execute if the condition gets satisfied. If the condition is not getting satisfied, it won't do anything. Let's see the syntax. Syntax means the formula. The formula is saying that if the conditional expression is true, there is a conditional expression here. So it means if the conditional expression become true, then it will execute all this. There is no curly bracket like C, C++ and Java. So how it will know that all these statements are belongs to this if? There is a question again. Now how it will know that these three statements to be executed if the condition become true? Okay. So in this case, the question let's find out the way how it is doing. Then if the condition gets satisfied, this condition gets satisfied, there is a colon sign here, then all the statement will get executed, and all these statements are written within and by giving an indent. You check indent means this tab is given, there is a tab given, so it means all these three statements or n number of statements are belongs to this if condition. If it get true, all this will get executed. Suppose I will keep this third number statement here, so it means what will happen, if the condition become true, then these two statement will get executed, and this will be executed thereafter. Let me say it again with another point of view. Suppose this condition is false, then these two statement won't get executed, only this statement will get executed. Why? Now this statement is not belongs to, not kept in the indent with this previous, so this statement will get executed. Okay, so let it be like this, not a problem. Let's come to the example, better you can understand. In example I wrote if n is greater than 5, so I'm just executing some statements. How many statements I am executing? Two statements I am executing. So you will say, sir, print is there. So what for the print is written here? If n is greater than 5, then this all statement will get executed, this two statement will get executed. Thereafter this print statement will be executed. It means it will print the value of n. Now let's see, if the value of n is not more than 5, not more equal to than 5. So in that case what it will do, it will simply print the value of n. It means whatever the previous value n will have, that will be printed here, and these two lines won't get executed. Okay, so that is all about if statement. If will have one condition, and if it is satisfied, then it will perform the task given below within a similar or same indentation. Otherwise there is nothing to be done. Let's go for if else. Okay, before going with if else, let practically solve some problems with only if. Okay, I'm just taking you to Python editor. So this is Python program we can write here. This is Python shell. Okay, and in this shell we create new file, and we got a file here. In this file I will write the program, and I will save it with .py extension. So let me write suppose n equal to 34. I wrote n equal to 34. I took a variable as a n, and the value of n is 34. Now I am giving here if n is greater than 0. I can write like this, na? This is the syntax. This is expression. And this is the syntax says that we have to give a colon sign. So see, the indent is coming there. Okay, so we have to write it here. If n is greater than 0, then print. What to print? Now n is positive, so we can write here is positive number. We just specified here it is a positive number or is positive number. Fine, let's check. So to check the program, we have to do run. Before run, we have to save the file. Otherwise, if you do run at first, run module, it will ask you to save the file. Source must be saved to, okay, must be saved, okay to save. So click OK and specify the file name to save it, and it is showing the result. What it is here? Is positive number. Why? Because my number is 34. I'm making here minus 34. Let me execute the module, run module. My file is already saved. It has a name here. If you check prg0.py written, so that because of it is not asking the file name. Fine. Okay. So it is showing what? Nothing it is showing. No result it is showing, as we don't have any else condition in our program. Hope all of you understood. This is the keyword we have written. This is the conditional statement we have written. Then according to syntax, colon has to be there. Then print is a positive number. So now student, suppose we want to print the number as well. So I wrote here n comma is positive number. So it means it will show the number as well as the statement. So run module, saving, and it is showing 34 is positive number. Okay, understood? Now let's go to the if else. So if else statement, let's concentrate. If else statement. In this form of if else structure, the statements of each respective part will get executed. That is, if the condition is true, then first block will get executed, otherwise the second block will get executed. So simple like C, C++. Only thing, the writing pattern is little different, as there is no curly bracket system like C, C++ and Java. So what it is saying, let me explain you here with syntax. Syntax, if, then the expression, conditional expression, then colon. Thereafter all the statement will get executed if the statement become true. Otherwise, that is else, and with else also we have to give the semicolon sign. Then otherwise all these three statements will get executed. So in this case, there is something for true and there is something for otherwise case, that is false. So let's come to the example. In example, I have given if n is greater than equal to 5, then all this will get performed. Otherwise, all these will get performed. Just an example. You need not to understand all this. Just an example. Only you try to understand how the writing pattern is. Always we have to keep them within a same indent. Same indent you try to understand. Now this line is not in same indent. So you have to keep them in same indent. Okay. Let's go to the programmatical point of view. Let's go to the editor to check how it is working. So going to the editor, now I am specifying here, this is the previously we did positive, now I am writing here else. Else what to do? Now negative. So I am just copying and pasting and specifying here negative. So negative number. Okay. Now let's run the program and check. It means we have something for true as well as we have something for negative, that is false. So 34 is positive number as it is printing, because we have taken here 34 as a positive number. I am giving here minus 34. Now let's run the program and check. 34 is a negative number. Okay. Now suppose let's go with another example. Let's go with another example with multiple statements. Fine. So multiple statement in the sense, suppose n is 4. If n is equal less greater than 4, then what it will do, like the example you have seen in that notes. So n equal to n plus 1 I am doing, and I am just printing n. Fine. And in this case what I am doing, now n equal to n minus 1 I am doing, and I am just printing n. Fine. So let's check. In one case, if it is greater than 4, it is just adding 1 and printing. If it is less than 4 or 4, then in that case it is doing minus 1 as well as it is showing the result. So check run module. Check what it is showing. 3. Why 3? Why 3? Because the number we have taken here 4. 4 is not greater than 4. So in that case it is executing this else part, that otherwise part, and doing minus 1 from 4, that is 3, and printing the value as 3. Understood? This print statement I can give here also. So in this case what will happen, the print become a common statement. So I am just executing some more lining, like suppose n equal to n plus 1 and n multiplied by 2 I am doing. In this case also I am doing n equal to n multiplied by 2. Okay. So now let's check what it is doing. In this case I multiple compound statement, in this case also compound statement. If n is greater than 4, then n plus 1 will be done, then n multiplied equal to 2 will be done, means multiply 2 will be done. Otherwise case n will be minus 1 as well as multiplication of 2 will be done. So let's check. So see, 6 is printing because it is executing the second part, that is 4 minus 1 is 3, 3 multiplied by 2 is 6, so it is printing 6. Hope all of you understood the concept very nicely.